Okay, hello everyone. So this video is my try a chapter tag this month in March when I did my TBR, which I will link down below. I got the prompt try chapter tag, and so for that one I pick 3 books and I have to try the first chapter from each of them, and then I will pick one of them to read all the way through for this vlog. So since it's March and it's Realmathon, I thought I would pick 3 fantasy books, and a couple of them I know the host, Cassidy, has read before, that they were kind of perfect, but we'll see what I end up picking for this vlog. I thought it'd just be fun to pick those ones since it's Realmathon. So I have my 3 books here. I have 2 of them physically and then one on my Kindle. The one on my Kindle is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I have these Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. And finally, A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. I've had both of these on my TBR for 3-4 years, so I need to get to them. I have the ability to get the audiobook for all 3 of these, so that will be very helpful in me reading them. To be honest, I want to get to each of these anyway, so they might eventually be coming up later in the month, but for this vlog we are trying these 3. So I'm just going to read a chapter from each of them. We'll kind of see actually how long each first chapter is, because sometimes some books do like really short first chapters, so I'd like to give them all a similar chance. So these Violent Delights, since it's the prologue and chapter 1, it's 21 pages. If I read the prologue and chapter 1 of A Dark and Hollow Star, that's like 31 pages, but if I just read the prologue, it's 13 pages. Let's see, Spark of the Everflame. Prologue and chapter 1 for this one gets about 24 pages, so I might end up reading way more of this one. So let's get to reading. So I'm just gonna do that. I'll give you my thoughts after each of them, and then we'll pick which one I'm gonna go forward with. I'm thinking I'm gonna start with these Violent Delights, so let's get into it. I'm done the first 21 pages of this. It was interesting. I gave us a good background actually and kind of just like jumped into everything. So we are set in Shanghai in 1926, I believe, and in the prologue we see members from the 2 main gangs, the White Flowers and the Scarlet Gang. I thought it was Scarlet something, and they both, people from both sides, I think I already forget what they're doing, like they're at a pier, and then there's also 2 cops, and all of a sudden something weird starts happening, and eventually all of them except for one, they start clawing out their own throats and like basically killing themselves by getting in there, like deep into their throats. In our first chapter we meet our 2 main characters, Juliet, who is the heir to the Scarlet Gang, and she has just come back to Shanghai. When she was here previously, she had a situation with the heir to the White Flowers Gang, Roma. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. Previously, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, they had a situation and now they're really on bad terms. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that they had feelings for each other, forbidden feelings for each other, and it did not end well. Juliet just came back and she's at a club when Roma shows up, and he tells her about the situation of members from both of their gangs clawing out their own throats. And while they're talking about that, someone at the club does it to themselves as well. It seems like Roma is suggesting some kind of coming together to figure out what is happening, and Juliet is not interested. But I believe that that's where this one goes, they start working together to figure out why people are doing this to themselves. So this one was nice that it got right into it. There wasn't too much background where you're like, because a lot of first chapters are just like, not boring, I don't know the word, not getting into what the book is about quite yet. So I did like that we jumped right in. On a scale of 1 to 5, how interested I am in it, maybe I was gonna say like between a 3.5 and a 4. It's probably like a 3.75, around there. I am going to jump into A Dark and Hollow Star next. I'm working on kind of a vision board right now, so I'm gonna work on that as I listen to audiobook for this one so I can be double productive. "31 pages into this one. We do somewhat get right into things. I don't actually know if I know what this is fully about. For centuries, the 8 courts of folk have lived among us, concealed by magic and bound by law to do no harm to humans. The arrangement has long kept peace in the courts until a series of gruesome and ritualistic murders rocks the city of Toronto and threatens to expose fairies to the human world. 4 queer teens, each holding a piece of the truth behind these murders, must form a tenuous alliance in their effort to track down the mysterious killer behind these crimes. If they fail, they risk the destruction of the fairy and human worlds alike. If that's not bad enough, there's a war brewing between the mortal and immortal realms. And one of these teens is destined to tip the scales. The only question is which way. The 4 teens are the Ironborn, half-fae outcasts of her royal fae family, a temptress fury exiled to Earth from the immortal realm and hell-bent on revenge, which I think was the first part of the prologue. A dutiful fae prince determined to earn his place on the throne. The prince's brooding guardian burdened with a terrible secret. I think we've seen 2 of the people so far. We see someone getting sent, someone that's fae getting sent to the mortal world and becoming mortal. And then in the first one, we see our half fae, half human girl fighting to have the chance to be part of the fae world. So one thing going for this is it's set in Canada, which is fun because I'm from Canada and I don't find like a lot of stories are ever set in Canada, so that's cool. It makes sense why I haven't picked this one up yet. It's not completely up my alley and it's not pulling me in like crazy, so I probably give this one like a 3 on the interest scale. So I definitely would put These Violent Delights ahead of this one. So I probably will not be rating this one for this vlog, but finally let's go in to Spark of the Everflame by Pen Cole. If I'm being honest, going into this one, I think this is gonna be the one that I pick, just because I know so many people that love this series, but who knows, it might not be the strongest first couple chapters. So read 24 pages of this one, and I enjoyed it. We dove a little bit into what the story may be about, but not that much. When old secrets catch fire, everything will burn. In a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the descended, their cruel offspring, DM Bellator yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer DM an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the dying king's handsome, mysterious heir watching her every move, and a ruthless mortal alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, DM will have to navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mortal kind. Slow burn, enemies to lovers, epic fantasy. The first chapter we kind of, right where we ended off, her mother goes missing, but we have just saw her mother talking to this man, but Diem gets spooked off by this person, this lady who seems to know a lot more than she should about her. I feel like that was a really good beginning without going too deep into what we're gonna read. So it's definitely between that one and These Violent Delights. I did some thinking, and I'm gonna pick up A Spark of the Everflame first, or for this video. I am interested in both of these, but I'm a little bit more interested in this one, and what really pushed it over the edge is I feel like this one's just a little bit more current and might be a little bit more interesting in a vlog for you guys. So we're gonna be reading this one. I'll probably start reading it a bit more later today and throughout the next couple days, so I will keep you guys updated through that. And yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I like it as much as other people. I did look when I was reading the synopsis on Goodreads. The people that I have on Goodreads that have read this range the rating from like 3 to 5 stars, but I know most people really liked the rest of this series. So like, even if they gave this one a 3 stars, they moved on to the next one and like gave it 5 stars ish. So I have high hopes, so I will get into this soon. I am halfway through Spark of the Everflame. Not much has happened. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not hating it. I'm actually quite enjoying it, but not much has happened. And I know lots of people say this is a setup for the rest of the series kind of book, and I can feel that vibe right now. We're just kind of really learning about the world, and we still don't know all that much. Our main character lives in the mortal world, and it has been overtaken by gods, and there is a civil war brewing between the gods and the mortals. She is kind of maybe getting caught in the middle of that. We see potential 2 different romances early on. I can tell that there's maybe some interest in the king's heir, but she also has kind of a boyfriend kind of guy. I forget his name. He is also immortal, but I just can't think of his name. Yeah, we know that her mom disappeared, and so she's still trying to kind of figure that out. It's been like 6 months or something. When her mother disappeared, right before that, she saw her mother with this man, kind of arguing, and now she sees this man again and realizes who he is and his standing in the world. So that brings up some issues as well. So I don't have that much to say because not much has happened. I think if I were to be reading this physically, I think it would maybe drag a little bit because not much has happened, but the audiobook is really good, so that's great. We'll keep reading and let you know how my thoughts develop. Hello. So yesterday I finished Spark of the Everflame. It really only took me 2 days to listen to it and to read it, and mainly because I made myself stop so I could come and update you guys. But I am done, and overall I really enjoyed this one. It's definitely a setup for the rest of the series. Like, if you really think about it, not that much happens in it, but it did not drag at all, and like definitely more happens in the second half, but still nothing too crazy is happening yet, except for right at the end there's big cliffhangers. So I'm really excited to get to the next one, and I think that was a really successful read, and I will definitely try and get to the next one as soon as possible. I'm still maybe gonna try and read one or both of the other books that I started in this video this month, just because they're audiobooks, so they should be easy for me to just pop on and listen to, or get to them somewhat soon, just because now I have a bit of a start on them and I know a bit more about them. So I don't know, I wasn't super looking forward to doing this video for some reason and having this as one of my prompts for the month, but I think it was really good and really successful. I won't dread it next time it comes up, that's for sure. I gave this one 4 stars on Goodreads. I think it could be like a 4.5. I just feel like I can't give it a 5 because there wasn't that much that happened, but still, it was really good. And I was getting excited. Like, I liked the characters in this and like the potential romance I foresee maybe happening. It just has a lot of potential. So this one was successful. If you haven't started this series yet, I would definitely recommend it. Even if you aren't like a super fantasy person, so far it hasn't been too crazy, too in depth that you feel like you're missing, that you can't, like, you feel like you can't follow or remember who everyone is or what they do and whatever. It hasn't been too convoluted yet, so that's also really good for me because I have a really bad memory and I don't remember stuff like that sometimes with fantasy reads. So yeah, so I think that's all for me. I think I'm gonna close that one out, this video out here. Really successful. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned and tried in this video and what you thought of them. Maybe you'll tell me not to waste my time, or maybe you'll tell me that I need to get to them ASAP. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!